I mean, all the things that are supportive, but also the tabs.
I know.
Like, okay, I just want to say this, and I know the answer, but I feel like I just want to say it. Like, are you sure? I mean, you could just come warm the seat up every now and then.
Well, yeah, I
It's
still could do that. I mean,
not going to fill the seat. Want to be clear, we're not filling that seat.
yeah,
It's
no, I
kind of
still
a
could pop in on
Jamie
episodes or
actually said she
whatever, but
might just steal your voice throughout beginning to the time we're going to
I
tape
said that. I was like, I will
you.
make it sound like Tabitha's still on the podcast. I'll just take her clips from her voice,
I go, maybe
probably
she'll sue
for the
us.
past 3 years of
throw
clips.
in her laugh. I could do it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sad.
Oh, I thought we moved the needle a bit there, but we're back to that. Okay.
She's decided.
Goody. All right, not really, but
I know.
I know.
I already started crying.
Hello and welcome to Table for Five with no reservations. Take a seat at the table for a fresh, sweet, salty, tart, and pleasantly bitter conversation.
I want to thank you for taking a seat at the table. Tonight, we are doing a special, devastating, heartbreaking farewell, and we are sad about it. With me at the table tonight is Tabitha Cabrera,
Hello.
Jamie Ramos,
Hi.
Kimmy McIsaac,
Hello.
Jen Dunn,
hi, everyone.
and I am Rachel Flanagan. I mentioned all the sad stuff already, but really, we're happy for you, Tabs.
Are you?
This is no,
for
I'm not.
yourself.
I mean, I'm not. I want you to be able to manage your time well. I want you to feel more in control of things, but Tabs, I'm sad about it. Why don't you tell the people?
Okay. To the people, the listeners, some of you may know because you saw my post on my pages, which are currently down, that I'm paring back my life because my mental health needs this to happen. Single parenting is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm gonna cry already, damn it.
4 minutes in,
Shoot.
2 minutes in.
Okay. As a lot of our listeners, if you aren't new listeners, know I went through a divorce, and this February will be essentially 2 years since that process kind of started. It'll only be about 5 months since it finished in the sense of formal divorce. But I have had to readjust and reshift and give up and say goodbye to a lot of things in my life during that time. There's just not enough time for anything. So really, I have to work and take care of my two kids who are both, autistic, and support a household and do all of the things with, it's just me. So I don't have, grandparents down the road or people living with me. It's just me. That's it. So basically, I'm trying to take care of myself with therapy and move past some of this. I feel like it's just started. I've been in kind of a frozen state a lot of the time over the past couple years. And in order to get through this, I need to pare back my life and quit the sharing is what it boils down to for myself and for my kids too. The other part of it is, now we live in a small town and I'm sharing intimate details about my kiddos, and I've thought about that a lot, and I always have. I think from the start of me writing and sharing, as they get older, kind of becomes harder for me to tell their story without them being a part of it. So all of those things. Basically, this is hard. I knew I was gonna cry. Damn it. Essentially, I need to figure out who I am moving forward. And in order to do that, I have to have the time and energy to be able to do that. So everything's getting stripped away right now in order to manage my household and my feelings and my depression and my anxiety, try and figure out where to go next. So that's it. Holy cow, that was hard to get through. Hopefully that's not a
Tabs, that's the
mess.
part I'm proud of. I'm proud that you are trying after this. We've been together for 3 years.
Yeah.
Right?
3 years.
We've been right here on the other side of these calls for all of this transition and all of this change. And I'm proud of you that you feel like you're in a place where you can sort of regain control of things so that you can get down to what feeds your spirit. And, we've watched you go through a lot of hard stuff, but I've watched you kill this 40 list. And I know it feels, this is just a girl with depression, just a mom with depression,
Yeah.
saying that I know a lot of things can feel like failures and like you're not bringing your full self, but I want you to know from us that you always have brought everything that we've needed, and what you have brought to our team is priceless and hard to name, but we're going to try.
Thank you.
So now that you are through your part, I want to tell you a few of the favorite moments that I've had. First, there's been these couple of hugs. There's this one time that Tabs came for a visit to my house, and she was on a big fat layover in Minneapolis, and she was fixing to stop in, and I knew it was going to be close, and we had been texting, and then all of a sudden I hear this like rolling of her suitcase. She like shows up for the biggest hug of life. I'd been going through shit that day with my daughter, and so you met Celie in like this, real Flanagan moment. And then because of our friendship and because of your deep knowledge of C and your understanding of our kids, I got to take this like 5 minutes of trust where I got to trust a friend with my kid. That is something priceless, Tabs. Like take my breath away. Not that you gave me a 5-minute break, but that you can that we all know each other so well, we can jump in those moments.
Yeah.
There's also one of my favorite pictures of you and I is me lying on the floor in a conference room one day that we were speaking in front of a large group, and you're standing directly on my back, like just trying to help a sister out. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Now I could have gone for the things like the rapper or the fact that you are the attorney at the table. But Tabs, it's really like these real heart friendship moments that just reinforced the fact that you're my family. And, I know this is hard for me because our Mondays have been such a precious thing to me. And that's changing, but I am really proud of you. I'm proud of what you've accomplished with us, and I'm done. Anybody else? Next. Yeah.
Me. Tabitha Cooper, I love you. And I'll say it again. You are badass. And, I think about, Rachel said rapping, which is funny because I didn't know that Tabitha, which is the attorney at the table, I think you are the most reserved. Jamie, you're reserved as well. But I mean, because just Rachel, Kimmy, and I, we just go. But I feel like all of a sudden, because we always used to have these calls in the morning. We had a lot of calls in the morning. And Tabitha just started busting out rapping, which was the first time we had ever heard her. And it was so wild. But I also remember the first time that I met you was obviously in Minnesota with all the ladies. And you guys were all there before me. I was the last one to get in. And I came in the door and like you came running across the lobby and like leapt into my arms. Yeah. I feel like you are our balance. Like you've been through, I just want to tell it really quick. And this isn't about material things, but you've been through a lot, obviously, in the last couple of years. You remember when Kaya started high school, you sent her and I matching necklaces for the first day of her high school in the middle of everything you were going through. You still thought about my kid. And I love you so much. The seat will always be open at the table, and you are always welcome back to be here. And I love you very much.
I love you too.
Okay.
It's gonna be a cry fest, people.
I love that this time we're like throwing the microphone to each other. Fine, somebody else take it.
Usually you can't shut us up, and we're talking over each other, and Jamie's got to work her edit. Magic.
Jamie, do you have a favorite Tabs moment or a story you need to share?
There's been so many, but like Jen, I'll never forget the rapping from the attorney in the morning. That was iconic. That was before we came together as a podcast. That was when we were first connecting during, I think, just the height of COVID at that point. Also, same thing, meeting you in Minnesota for the first time. I think we didn't know what it was going to be like going from online friends and Zoom friends to see each other in real life and how it was going to be. And it was just different than I thought it was going to be in a better way, if that makes sense. And, sort of new to the divorce process that first time, I believe.
Just started.
Yeah. And I just remember you just giving you just a bear hug, and I don't know, everything was just fell into place in such like a natural way. We had so much fun and so many laughs, and that was really awesome. And just like all our times of laughing and singing and joking and there's so much behind the scenes
A
that goes
lot of singing.
So much singing.
and I feel like Nora and Alyssa, I
Yes.
see a lot of Alyssa and Nora and vice versa, so
Yes.
just having that bond, I think, really having a girl, free spirit, very stubborn, free spirit. I think it just
Passionate, some would say.
yes, yes,
There's a
it's
lot
just
of things some would say. Period.
Yeah.
it's just a different
Firecracker.
wavelength. And of course, the incessant questions from me and Jen whenever there's some court case on TV that we want to know what this means and what that means, and you're breaking everything down for us. Very patiently, I might add.
Yeah.
No, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm sad, obviously, and I'm sad for you. I worry, I want you to know that you always have us and you always have this, because you need those connections. But I'm proud of you for putting yourself first, because it's really hard to do. It's really hard to take that step back and kind of like go forth with doing the things that you're thinking of doing. It's you need to be a lot stronger to do that. It's a lot easier just to kind of keep trudging through and just keep doing it, because it's like awkward and because it's scary to stop things and change things, and not just the podcast, but like your page and all these other things. So I definitely do commend you for that, because that's it's not easy to do. Like I'm imagining that it's also, yes, a weight lifted, but it's probably also a very scary step at the same time.
Yeah. Love you.
I
Love
love
you guys.
Shame.
She's already got the tissue.
I started crying when Rachel started walking through what the episode was going to be, and I had to turn off my camera
I
because
know.
I didn't want to cause everyone else to cry.
I know.
Such a problem. But the
I am
filter,
business rage right now, so it's working.
I will say the Zoom filter is really helping with the redness of my face right now, so you guys can't tell as normally when I'm crying. Tabs, I just love you so much, and I think, memory wise, I'll do that first. Well, the first time we were in Minnesota together, I felt like, we all talked about this, but like how it was like weird the first time we met in person, because we had been talking on the internet so long and, with video and all that. But like, I just felt like instantly comfortable with you. And I just remember one moment, I think it was like their last night, we were all hanging out in like the private little lobby area on that club level. And we were sitting by the fireplace and you started laughing so hard and you just fell on my shoulder. And it just felt like so natural. Like you were like one of my sisters or one of my best friends, which you are. And you've never sent me a necklace, but this year at the event, I did steal a jumper from you on accident. Thank you. She let me borrow a jumper and a romper, and then she was leaving she was leaving from the restaurant. She's like, "Oh, you can just keep that." I was like, "Oh my
god!" Well played, Ramos. Well played.
I think it was meant for you.
Stolen items from many people at this table on accident.
I can't believe you're not wearing it right now as an ode to Tabs. You're a shitty friend, James.
It's a little fancy. And then also, like, how I am immediate always on a dance floor, which you guys didn't know about me, but I knew that I could pull you out and make sure that someone danced with me, because I looked like a fool anyway, but I knew that you would be a fool with me. And then outside the podcast, just like hanging out after we record and like the laughs. We laugh so hard on the podcast, but also after the podcast, because we get really late and silly, and I'll miss that a lot, even though I know we'll still have calls and we'll still talk, but I'll just miss Mondays with you. And then just overall, when it comes to the podcast, like I really don't think we would have the podcast with you, because you just have this amazing like can-do attitude.
She meant without you. She meant without you. She meant without you.
Oh, we wouldn't have the podcast without you.
It's a fact,
this amazing
James.
attitude, and I think like we just brought it up one day, and you're like, "Let's do it," and you like figured out how to do it, and we're like, "Okay, we're doing it," and just your smart lawyer-iness, so we like could figure it out, and we could claim to have a lawyer at the table, which is not why I'll miss you, but I am grateful for all that stuff you brought to the table, teaching us how to do things so we didn't look like complete fools. And I don't know, and I'm really just sad. As a group, we'll miss you. I'm not trying to guilt you. I'm so glad you're taking this step back and you're going to find your footing and figure out where you're going and how to deal with everything. And I know you need that. And I'm really happy that you found this in yourself to take a step back from everything. And I'm hoping and praying that it gets you to where you need to be, but I'm really gonna miss you. I feel like
In 2 weeks, and then you come back. What?
I'll give you a 2 week break and then we'll see. But you really do bring a balance to us as a group, and I'm gonna miss that a lot. I'm gonna miss us as the five of us, and I love you so much, and I'm glad you're putting yourself first, like Kimmy said.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys so much. It's hard. The letting go of things is real hard.
Well, you can't let go of us, actually. You can let go of this
I
lovely
never
situation,
will.
but this
I
shit
never
is
will.
never, yeah,
But
it's never over.
you know, like one thing I'm working really, really hard on is like not considering every fluctuation a failure, you know?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that's my own internal struggles is that I've been in this view the past couple years of just like things passing in the wind. And in that sense, it feels like a goodbye paired with a failure, you know? But really, the success is like understanding that I have to figure out how to live my life here in the way that it looks now, in the time that I have now, and in this new person that I'm becoming after everything's kind of shifted. So I'm proud of that, but it's not easy. It's really not easy at all. So it's tough. And I'm hopeful that I can like start actually living my life here, which I've kind of struggled with, you know.
It'll be so nice to be able to thin things out so that you can really get some roots going there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
really settle in, you know?
Yeah. I've just been avoiding. I mean, to the point where like I still have anxiety even just going to the grocery store by myself. It's like one of those things that like makes me feel like everything's concrete and changed. And we do a lot of Instacart in this house. So.
If you'd like to avoid those feelings, call me. I'll send you the shipped.
Yeah.
I'll send you the
Expert.
shipped.
Well, and I think sometimes when there's just so much going on and you just everything becomes so overwhelming, you
Yeah.
know, like it's you're exhausted. There's just so much like whirling around, like even internally in your brain. So hopefully these things will allow you to just be more present, like
Yeah.
even just with,
Yeah.
with your kids and yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And the gravity is that I have little kids that take a lot of energy and time, and I would like to be able to also do some advocacy in this area, like a pared down version of what I do online for actually something that would be valuable to this community here because it's just horrible.
Let me
But
be clear about something. You are still making an impact. These books are at Barnes and Noble. These
yes,
160 episodes will live on forever.
yes,
I don't mean to
yeah,
cut you off, Tabs, but you've impacted me, our listeners,
yeah,
our whole team. You've impacted our hearts and our way. You have this inspirational let's do it attitude that just is like a bulldog that we all so much admire. But in the wake of that, watching you do that has made me stronger and has made me a little bit more let's do it. I appreciate that so deeply. Your work stays. I mean, I know that your writing has changed, but your books are here impacting people in school libraries, in my
yes,
kid's
yes,
bedroom, in all
yes,
these different places.
And
I
can,
hope that in time, as time passes, that you look at this chapter as a big success and a huge mountain of advocacy, not in the shadows of leaving. Like it,
yeah, yeah.
your
And that's I'm working really hard to like
see it.
lose that vocabulary or
Mhm.
reshape the way I think about myself,
Yeah.
really.
So much pressure on yourself
Yeah,
for so many things that
yeah,
like this is not the way others are viewing you or things. It's just the way you're internalizing, you know?
yeah,
and I just want to mention that, and you can remind yourself of this, that in that time of you going through this, you showed up every single Monday and did not miss one because you didn't let this table down. You showed up every single Monday through all of that stuff.
yeah.
So you remember that, my friend.
And always remember when this podcast, the fact that we did more than like 3 episodes,
Hey,
this was not a failure.
we are
No.
not failing.
You are not a failure. We did
Yeah.
more than we ever
And
thought.
really, this weird, like I consider this podcast amazing and what we've done incredible. It's really that I'm so hard on myself that if I have to step away or say goodbye or leave, I turn it into something where I'm like, man, I wish I could have done all these things the way that I wanted to do them, but this is like a preset for me, which is a positive and a negative because it keeps me driven, it keeps me motivated, it keeps me doing things that I don't think others would think that they could. It gives me that type of grit, but it also makes me beat up on myself a lot, So working on it. Working on it. Therapy. Oh, sorry, there's going to be so much sniffing.
That's okay.
Well, Tabitha, you have,
So that's me.
faced the end of a 20-year relationship.
Yeah.
You moved from Arizona, Montana. You have not one but two autistic children that you are parents. You went from a career as an attorney, like in the courtroom, to working on contracts from home. Like everything has taken such a change and such a shift in
Yes.
such a short amount of time. So, you have to cut yourself some slack.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot better than I think a lot of other people in your position and your situation would be doing.
Yeah.
And you're doing a podcast, running a page, working for 72 different lawyers,
Yes.
adjusting to like
Mhm.
having your kids for 5 days in a row and then not having them and like all that. Like it's just so much change and so much adjustment that you've had to deal with in like really like a year's time. Like it's
Mhm.
a lot. It's a
And
lot.
a tattoo and a piano and a trip and a this and a that and 35 others. Okay,
That
there.
tattoo I'm very proud of.
Yes.
Divorce tattoo, highly recommend.
Revenge skinny.
Revenge
rocking
skinny divorce tattoo.
Yeah.
God maintained
Yeah.
his weight for the whole time, so there's that.
Oh, and you're eating.
And
So
I'm
that's
eating.
good.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I think
At the beginning, you were forgetting those things.
I think a lot of old, deep-rooted feelings have come back during this time that I haven't felt in decades, So that part of it's jarring. And then to realize that that's still there is something I need to work on to be able to kind of like feel comfortable in my own skin again, Therapy, working on it. Definitely working on it.
Sometimes you busy yourself with so much stuff to like,
Yeah.
it's like avoid some of these things.
Oh, I
And
do
then,
that for sure.
yeah, and then when everything fills up, it's almost like you start drowning.
Yes. Yes. And that's my go-to. I mean, it's not the healthiest of coping mechanisms, but my go-to has always been work it, avoid the feelings. And now it's such a different lifestyle that almost isn't even an option right now. My work isn't even
Not an option. Tabs, do you know what happened? 2023 took away the ability for the dam to hold with the tears.
Yes.
I don't know if it's just me and you or if it's just you and me, but I think that salty bitch 2023 did that to a lot more people. She
Farewell.
exposed everything.
Yeah, it's just it really is mind-blowing when you think about the time frame of this podcast in itself. I mean, we started this podcast in a pandemic. We were home. I had a partner who could watch my kids when we recorded. There was just so many things going on at that time that I feel like a completely different person, even though I am still, a lot of me is the same. But just thinking back to that time frame is so mind-blowing to me. Like I was working full-time as a litigator, living with my husband in Arizona. We were in a pandemic. Everything was shut down. My daughter had just been diagnosed with autism.
Second child in 1 year's time.
Yeah, second. Yeah.
Seriously,
11
people,
months.
if you don't know that story, legitimately, Tabs had a child diagnosed in January
Yeah.
and then a second in December, like a 1-2 punch. And we were right here.
Yeah.
Like, and by right here, I mean not close enough to hold a sister up, just close enough to be on the other end of the call.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst part of this podcast. Can I just make that clear? Next time we revamp, let's make sure we all live on the same street. Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah. I just, when you say all of those things out loud, no shit, I'm struggling. Right? I mean, like, come on now. Okay, my turn. I'm going to say nice things about you guys.
Muting for my tears, okay?
Okay. These are short, just because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through. Okay.
If Tabitha wrapped what she had to say, maybe it would be a little easier.
Maybe she should.
We should
You
have
want me to
done
drop
this
a
as sing
beat?
song the rhyming version.
Go get the guitar, please. And then
Yeah, which instrument do you want? Okay, Rachel Flanagan. Thank you for being the smile across the Zoom, the perfect eyes to meet in a time of need, the warm hug you can feel from a distance, and a person who makes me belly laugh, and my soul sister. Kim, thank you for being my sister in feelings, understanding the dark and the light sides of my soul. Each word of wisdom spoken that hits me in just the right place at the right time. A deep, beautiful kindness that shines with every word. Jen, thank you for always checking on me, keeping me updated on current events, and that I shouldn't eat a banana on the keto diet. You have taught me that feeling all the things loud and proud is beautiful, and every part of you shines just as strong as the rest. Jamie, thank you for being my counterpart and going inward with your feelings, and the first to show your beautiful soft soul, because you understand my thoughts without me speaking them, and the person I can call when I am the most unsure about if I am doing things right, especially as a mother, for keeping us organized and for laughing with me in the dark of the night. Ugh. I had to make
Love
that
you.
sure. I love you guys too.
Love you.
Ugh.
Did you make that rhyme on purpose? Do you want me to drop a beat?
Really, truly, I mean, there's no doubt that I could not have made it through this time without you guys in my life. You've helped me stay grounded, understanding that I'm still here, that it's okay to feel like garbage, and to also laugh if you are feeling like garbage, to make jokes about the hard things. And I really am so proud of us for everything that we've done. And
Amen.
it breaks my heart a bit, you know. Hopefully our
Well, we want our
listeners can
listeners to know
understand
that
what I'm
we want our
saying.
listeners to know that Tabs will be bopping in to this fifth seat as needed. And I say that because when you leave four bitches in a room, you might need a tiebreaker, but also because there are some topics where we just need that attorney and our friend in Montana to talk about bonfire hair and stuff.
There's so many good times, really so many good times. I mean, from the beginning to the end, like in the beginning of this podcast, Kimmy made me laugh so hard on her recommendations for birth control. I remember that was like one of her couple first episodes, and her one-liner about not recommending
I know.
Birth control
She was
jab.
like, I got pregnant on Depo-Provera, do not recommend. I mean, I made that up. I'm not sure what it was.
It was the
but-
NuvaRing. Was it the NuvaRing? Which
No,
one was it?
it was the birth control patch.
Birth control.
Multiple times.
Would not recommend. Would not recommend. Jamie Ramos's face when she dances is the all-time most glorious thing I've ever seen in my life. It is so fantastic. Her whole
It's like full
spirit,
commitment, full
Her
dance
whole
commitment.
soul is feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
especially,
Oh, God.
especially in a room of autism moms. I just gotta say that right now. Rachel,
Actually, the Kimmy did the thing tabs, the 2023 roundup, and it was us dancing, like
Oh,
in that high
yes,
clips from
yes.
Minnesota.
Yes.
And I was just like, made me so, obviously, we knew this was happening. So it made me so sad. But I also pissed myself laughing, thinking about Jamie going down, and you and I were like right there dancing. And it was just so fun. It was so
Yes.
fun.
Yes. And Rachel, like all of you guys, when I met you the very first time, I felt comfortable
Yeah.
in person. Rachel, I got to meet first before we actually met up. And Rachel and I, right after this divorce, she came for a visit. Right
This
after
is the best.
news
How did
of the
I not
divorce.
tell this story?
Oh my God, I love this
Go.
story
I'm in
so
a
much.
mute, so I shut up.
Right after the news of my divorce, she takes a visit to Phoenix. We decide to go to a drag show. And at the drag show, the drag queen was like, is anyone celebrating us? There must have been about 12 bachelorette parties
20
in white and pink and veils.
sashes. Hey, everywhere. You know, like the things and like the
Yes.
headbands and
It was a room full of bachelorettes. And
crowns.
then there's me. I'm in Johnny Cash Black.
Both of us were in black on black.
Black on black, celebrating my divorce, about ready to give all these bachelorette. I wasn't celebrating my divorce. I was mourning my divorce at that time. But it was funny that I was dressed from head to toe in black. And I was about to give all these bachelorettes advice on like which items they should pick just in case. Like put your name on the bottom of something that you want
If you
to
like
take
that
with you.
crock pot, put a Sharpie on it. Mhm.
Jen and I got to share a room this last year in we had the best time sharing a room in Minnesota. We really did.
I said that because I'm
She
like,
just
'cause
said that the
normally
other day. She goes,
I don't
Tabitha
really
was the best roommate.
the best roommate.
Which I was nervous. Let me just tell you, our friend Jen is particular about cleanliness and like things like that and like things sitting out. And I was a little bit nervous that I was gonna do something that was annoying. But it was
Like
so
not shower
easy.
6 times.
And we had we had some late night talks and we just like everything was so like
You guys went to bed at like
laid
8
back.
o'clock
We
every
did.
night.
So we're two old ladies. It was all I looked at her, I'm like,
Are
Night
you
night,
outta
baby.
here.
Yes,
You
I'm
leaving? Are you tired? Do you want to
Yeah.
go to bed? Yeah.
Yeah. But really the thing with the five of us when we get together is like it's always fun. We could be
Mhm.
like in a storm with no umbrellas and we'd still be laughing about something, you know? So I appreciate everything and really like with all my heart. I can't thank you guys enough for everything. This isn't the end of our friendship, people, in case you're wondering about that.
There's
It's
no
not.
breakup.
It's
It's
not a
Before the
breakup.
rumors
Yeah.
spin, the table's not flipped.
Yes.
Nothing
we're
is wrong with the table.
And
Nothing.
I forgot to say one thing. I think
Oh, I love
everyone's
it.
gonna miss, but I'm really gonna miss Tabitha. You have the best laugh on the podcast.
Laugh.
I was
The
thinking
best
that.
laugh. The best
People
laugh.
are gonna miss it.
Love
I'm
your
gonna
laugh.
miss it so much when editing.
know, 'cause we're
I
a
literally I can visually see the sound waves of your laugh. Like it's the best thing ever.
Sometimes I listen back and I'm like, oh my God, it's so jarring.
I love your
Well,
laugh. I love
to
it.
our listeners, truth be told, we had a plot going on the back end. We're like, well, her pages are down. So we're just not going to tell her. Jamie's going to piece her voice together. We're just going to keep her at the table and not tell anybody.
This actually isn't being published as an episode. It's a facade.
It's
This
fake.
is fake.
It's fake.
Totally fake. Yes.
If you cried with us, if you understood what I was saying, that's fantastic. I'm glad. I thank all of our listeners because I really have been able to be vulnerable in this space, the way that we have it, in the way that we do things here, and open about mental health, about life struggles, about being a mom and being a working mom, being an autism mom, you know, my own personal battles. Because I think sometimes you can look at people and be like, man, they really got their shit together. And then on the inside, they're kind of crumbling, you know? So it's nice to be able to vocalize things are hard and it's okay to say things are hard and it's okay to seek out help if you need that. And we'll see what the next 2024 has to bring for me. I don't know, lots of therapy. I'm
I
sure.
call for a Cabrera visit on a Tired as a Mother every quarter. Whatever.
I would
We'll
love
figure it
that.
out.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that. Yes,
Yeah.
let's do that.
I love you, Tabitha Cabrera.
I
Thank you.
love
Love
you,
you.
Thank you.
ladies, so much. So much.
Would you
And-
like to send us off with the little rap, Tabs?
On the spot.
On the spot rap?
She can handle
Yeah,
this
wrap us
shit. If
out.
we were at a
Someone's-
stoplight, she'd be like, I'm packed and I'm stacked, especially
Yeah,
in the
start
Braxville.
the
Don't want to
shoot.
think your mother for a
Rachel,
butt like that. All right, let's see.
Start some shoop.
I want to shoot, baby, shoot, shoot, doop, shoot, doop.
You're packed in your stack, especially in the back, brother. Wanna think your
wanna think your
mother
motherfucker.
for
Like
butt
that.
like that. Gonna get some
Can I get
fries with
some
the shake
fries
shake
with the
booty. If looks could kill you, would be an Uzi or a shotgun. Bang!
Bang.
What's up with that thing? I wanna know, how does it hang?
How does it
Straight
hang?
up, wait
Straight
up,
wait
hold
up, hold up, Mr.
Mr.
Lover.
Lover.
Like,
Crip said
like
you're
Crip
a sexy
said.
mother.
oh, I like him real. Momoa. Real Momoa.
Also, last episode I did advertise that I'm looking for a sugar daddy. I didn't clearly listen to that.
Let's end this. Let's end this. Let's end this. Let's close it before she recants. What she wants to say, universe, is that she may not need a sugar daddy because Momoa just filed for divorce.
Jason Momoa is currently single. I think Lisa Bonet
This is why
filed for
she's
divorce.
quitting the table because she's moving to wherever the he lives.
But for my future self, really, that was a joke, people.
Not a stalker.
I'm not a stalker. I'm not seeking out the money-driven
But if he
relationships.
shows up in Billings, whatever.
As my
whatever.
last clarification for this
We've joked many times on this podcast about sugar daddies and getting sister wives. I'm pretty sure by now
Yeah.
they know that it's not real. I hope.
Just saying.
This is a whole different podcast.
On that note, I love all of our listeners. I love you guys.
Love you.
Oh, just that brief. Love you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us at the table for this episode of the Table for Five No Reservations podcast. If you are enjoying the podcast, please remember to rate and review us wherever you're listening. If you'd love more content from us and to be part of our community, make sure to become a subscriber. You can find the link in the description of this episode. Join us next Monday for more, and while you wait, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. See you next time.